What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and I wanted to take a minute to actually talk about the Hydra Boss, Clan Boss content that recently was added into the game. It's been a pretty hot topic here lately, especially today when it came down that they would be changing the Deterrence Mastery to kind of limit people using this Inquisitor Shamal cheese that's been going around. First off, I don't have any problem at all if people are using this Inquisitor Shamal team. I think it's great to use whatever tools you have to advance whatever content you can in the game. But my bigger picture for all this, the main worry I have, is mainly that I think the Hydra content is going to be dead on arrival in Raid Shadow Legends. I don't see this content as being something a lot of people are going to continue to play, and I find it very strange that Plarium decided to actually release a Hydra Roadmap already, talking about all the changes they're going to be making to the Hydra, including adding 2 more damage levels to it, or 2 more difficulty levels to it, with more rewards and avatars and clan leaderboards. And I read through that and I'm like, I really hope this is not the focus that you guys are going to take for the game in the next year, is focusing on the Hydra content. And also, as they've mentioned a couple of times, they want to focus on player versus player. So it's a little concerning to me, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it today. Actually, I was going to run a key on it because I was trying to get one more key in to get to the 20 million to get the max chest on hard. Unfortunately, while I was testing my last key, I took a phone call and forgot about it, went AFK, and it completed itself. So lost that key. GG. Big rip on that one. But you can see here that on my team, this is the last team I was trying out. They didn't do very well. But my first team, I used the Shamal cheese, as we'll call it, and got about 16 million on that key. And unfortunately, it ran into a bunch of RNG issues, and I just got frustrated with the amount of time it was taking, and wound up just going with it and accepting the 16 million, figuring I'd come back and get 4 million with another team, which of course I failed on that. But that's kind of the thing, and the problem I see with this content is, number one, it's just not accessible for most of us. Most people in the game outside of the big time whale clans are simply not even going to unlock Brutal or Nightmare at any point, which is why I think it's a massive waste of time for Plarium to continue on with difficulties past Nightmare right now. I don't think that should even be on the table for them to be thinking about. I think what they should be doing is figuring a way to make this boss less over-tuned and a little bit more accessible at the lower end. Mainly because, as with most of the content they've been bringing out lately, the Hydra boss really requires a small handful of champions that you absolutely must have, like a Doom Priest, a Duchess, Inquisitor Shamal. Actually, I think even with the changes to Deterrence, I think we're still going to need Inquisitor Shamal. And I actually do have 3 of him, and I'll probably still wind up building out the other 2 just because I feel like he's definitely going to be needed to do this boss even in the future. Because even after this rotation is out, you always have to deal with the fact that you may get a Head of Torment pop up in the new rotations when you do kill one of the heads. That's always something you're going to have to worry about here. So I had built my Shamal that I do have here. I'd put him in the poison set, to do the debuffs and have enough debuffs up there to make the strategy work when I'd land the decreased defense on the other heads. But it was actually a massive waste of time now that I think about it. I spent my entire Saturday night last weekend building out this Shamal comp with Battle Sage and all the AoE champions and trying to speed tune it to get it to work right. And I kept having to rerun keys. I kept getting RNG on the head spawns. I kept getting RNG on the decreased defense landing on the wrong head. And I think by all the time it was said and done and I got my 16 million key, I think I'd spent about 7 hours on it. And I didn't really feel good about it. I didn't feel accomplished. I kind of felt like, man, what a waste of time. Like, I just totally wasted, my entire Saturday evening on this game, which is honestly becoming a little tedious. So I think, Plarium just missed the mark with this content, quite honestly. And I don't think people are going to continue to play it. Mainly because the rewards, I don't think, are going to be that great. Now, if we go into Hydra, and we look at the rewards that you can get each week from this, and I'm going to base this on the fact most people are probably only doing normal or hard. Obviously, if you're up doing brutal nightmare, you might get some better rewards here. But if we look at even like the top chest on hard, so this is what you can get each week, basically. And that's what you have to keep in mind is this is a once a week chest. This is not like Clan Boss where you're doing it every single day. This is more like the arena reward chest where you get it once at the end of the week. So you're going to be able to get the legendary fragments. And I honestly think this is going to be the only reason to continue to even do like normal Hydra. Clan Gold will be nice. You can obviously use that to buy some energy and some other things in the shop. But then you're going to have the chance at getting this gear. And you can get a 5-star mythical even on the hard difficulty. But we all know how this gear drops and how it rolls. It'll probably be mythical flat stat. You know, it's probably going to be trash gear. I literally every week probably delete or sell 99% of the gear I get from my arena chest. So I imagine it's going to be just like this. I hardly ever keep the cruel or the immortal drops from Clan Boss because they're always so bad. So getting this once a week, there's really zero incentive there besides the legendary champion. So if you think you can get enough shards just doing normal or hard at that point, just throwing a couple keys at it, not even worrying about it, you kind of have to think, is this worth going out of your way to spend all the resources to build 18 champions and to continue pursuing? Obviously, if you're someone that's an in-game whale and you've got all the resources and all the champions in the world and you're already probably doing brutal and nightmare, you don't really care. But for the other 99% of us, I really just don't see this content sticking around. And as I said, I just don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the time sink. This is a game where you already have to spend so much time playing it, and we've told Plarium time and time again, you know, you need to figure out a way to cut down our time in the game. But they add a game mode now that is going to actually increase the amount of time you're spending, especially when you consider that you have to usually manual this boss, you know, it just takes forever. Like I said, it took me 7 hours the other night using the cheese strategy just to get the RNG right. And even then, I didn't get a great key out of it. So it was a completely wasted amount of time. Wasted a whole bunch of silver, rolling gear, building other champions up that I wasn't even using for the all AoE A1s. There were some champions I had in the vault that I hadn't even used for that, like Suzerain. And it's like, oh, I just blew all the silver building his champion, and for what? What was the point of it? I could have used that to build up somebody to use in Hard Doom Tower, since that's the content I'm currently trying to progress in the game. So I think it's a big miss. I'd be interested to see what you guys think, but I know, especially like in my clan, and we have a really good mix in our clan. We have quite a few endgame players. We have people that have completed Doom Tower, normal and hard. Most everybody is 1 and 2 King Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Most everybody's finished with Faction Wars with Lydia. And you can see here, this first week, only 3 of us even attempted hard. And so if you're in a situation like this, it's kind of like, well, why would I even care? Why would I continue to even work on my team when it's clear we're a long way off from ever even completing this boss to the point we can get double chests or move up to brutal. So for now, what I'm probably going to do is just, you know, I've got a team I can run here, actually not using Shamal, that I can get a 1 key pretty easy on normal. And then we'll just go to hard and see if what we can put together there. But other than that, I'm not going to make much of an effort to do this content. It's just not worth it in my eyes. I hope the legendary champion winds up being worth it if we can get enough shards to get that. But for the most part, I just don't see a whole lot of people continuing to push Hydra after a point in time. It's just something that it's like beating your head against a brick wall. And if you don't have the champions to do it, then there's really no point to even waste your time in it. So, you know, generally I just think it's something that's not going to last too long in terms of the excitement's already worn off for me. I'm not excited about the Hydra. I was the first day it came out. I'm like, oh, something new to try out. And then it quickly becomes evident that if you don't have the right champions and a ton of time to spend on it, you're just simply not going to be able to have success in it. And I know some people are doing well in Hydra, good for them. I'm happy that some people are finding strategies and are already running the Nightmare boss. That's great. But I think just overall, especially in a game that seems to lack a lot of content for mid to early late game, and just trying to keep players happy, to me this was just a big swing and a miss. I just don't see it. I don't think this is going to be popular content. I don't think it's content that people are going to care about in 2 or 3 weeks. People are probably more excited about the Christmas fusion than they are the Hydra boss. And again, it's going to come along with more drama of, you know, obviously the community is going to react to deterrence being changed in a negative way, even though I think it's an interesting fix that they did, but at the same time, it highlights the problem that they really don't test their content. They really don't look at anything before they put it into the game. They could have avoided most of these situations. They added an overtuned Hydra head that puts fear all the time. They should have changed the Hydra head to be it only puts fear once per turn instead of the way it works now, instead of changing any masteries or doing anything like that. But that would have been too easy. That would have been the more logical solution. So obviously Plarium is not going to do that, which is just pretty funny to me. But I wish they would test this stuff better, because time and time again, and especially this year, it seems like this has been a really bad year for Plarium. They just shoot themselves in the foot. They'll do nice things, and then literally 2 weeks later they do something stupid that gets the whole community angry at them again. And if 2023 winds up being the same way, or 2022 winds up being the same way for this game, I'm not sure. I think they're going to start to lose a lot of the community. I'm already seeing it quite a bit. The community is becoming pretty fragmented at this point, between like the top end, the high level players, and then sort of the middle. You know, there's a lot of toxicity right now. I'm seeing it flying all over Discord and Reddit everywhere, and you know, the haves and the have-nots, and it's just, I hate to see it, because I really enjoyed being part of this raid community, and it's been a pretty cool place to be for the last year and a half. But the future doesn't look that great to me, quite honestly. I don't think they're going in a good direction with the game, and it just sucks, because the clan should be something cool where you kind of get together and you do stuff with your clan every single week. You know, you're in Discord, you're active, you're working through strategies. But instead we have this this individual clan system, which, you know, I like the clan quests. They're great. The clan shop has been it's been a good update, but this isn't a social feature. This is just you go and do stuff by yourself. You know, clan versus clan isn't really a social feature. You go and do stuff by yourself, and whichever clan has more people do good stuff by themselves wins. You know, even the personal rewards, that's not a social clan versus clan type thing. You know, I go into back into my days, like when I was in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it's like you actually had clan challenges. You had things where you would do territory wars, and you would be in Discord. You know, all your clan members are talking to each other like, okay, what units are we going to deploy here? Who's going to put what team here? Who wants to put all their big, you know, heroes out first to kind of prevent the enemy from taking that territory zone? You know, Marvel Strike Force had similar content. We still don't have content like that in Raid, where we get to actually work together as a clan deploying our champions in a way against, you know, that we can fight against the other clan, like a territory battle, or even something where, you know, we could let other people in the clan borrow our champions that they might not have for content. There's all kinds of features that are missing from clans in Raid, and it really sucks that instead of focusing on that and trying to build more social content we can do as a clan together, they put in stuff like the Hydra boss, which just continues to alienate more of the player base and frustrate more of the player base. So I really hate to be doom and gloom, because I do really generally enjoy this game. I don't enjoy the time it takes anymore, and I think part of the problem is once you get into the later game, there's just really not much to do. And so when they bring out content that you can't even really enjoy, it just leaves kind of a sour taste in your mouth. It's funny, because right now I have a new account I just started. It's about 20 days in, and I'm having an absolute blast with it, because there's so much stuff they put in for the new player experience that makes it a lot easier to get through. But on my main account, it's like, man, I log in and it's like, man, what am I going to do tonight? I really don't want to do any of the stuff that I have to do. It's just, I don't want to do Hydra. You know, hard Doom Tower is frustrating as well. That's a little bit more of something that gives me a feeling of accomplishment, though, when I actually do get through it. Like the Doom Tower bosses, I feel like it's a challenge, but it's fair. And once you can build a team and figure out the mechanics, you can get through it. But it's like with Hydra, it doesn't matter what you do. There's so much RNG, it's so overtuned. You got to manual the whole thing. It's ridiculous, and it just really doesn't feel like good, meaningful content that's going to help propel the game forward. I think, if anything, again, I think this content is dead on arrival. I don't really think it's going to be something people are engaged with or happy about in the long term. But as always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down below. I always like to see your comments, and as always, I will try to give any feedback to Plarium, even though they honestly don't listen to any of it. It's very frustrating. It's pretty clear at this point that the people designing and developing these things don't actually play the game. The people making choices to put things in the game don't actually play the game. It's pretty clear at this point with all the fiascos we've been having lately. Let me know what you think, though. As always, guys, hope you're having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.